They say family is everything, that no matter what happens, blood is thicker than water. But what happens when the people who are supposed to protect you become the reason you're drowning? My name is Isla, and this is my story. When I was little, it was just Mom and me. Dad left before I could form a memory of him. And Mom, well, she used to be someone else entirely. She would hold me close, sing lullabies with her soft, tired voice, and tell me bedtime stories about a life she never got to live. But life has a cruel way of reshaping people. After she lost her job, things got darker. She stopped singing. She stopped smiling. And the lullabies were replaced with the sharp clang of vodka bottles and muffled sobs behind closed doors. I was 10 when I first saw her throw a glass at the wall because I asked what was for dinner. I was 11 when I started lying to my teachers to cover her blackouts. And I was 13 when I realized she didn't hate the world. She hated me for reminding her of the life she lost. Home wasn't a home anymore. It was a prison with floral curtains and broken promises. I begged her to stop drinking. I pleaded with her to see me. But her eyes were always somewhere else, in a past she couldn't fix, or a future she never planned for. One night, after she screamed at me for breathing too loudly, I packed a bag. I didn't have a plan. I just needed to escape. But I didn't go. Why? Because part of me still believed she'd come back, that the mom who read me bedtime stories would push through the haze and hold me again. She never did. I was 17 when she slapped me so hard I couldn't hear for a day. That was the last straw. I told her I was leaving. And you know what she said? She laughed. She laughed and said, "Go ahead. You think I care? I never asked you to stay here anyway." Those words echoed in my mind for years. I left, found a scholarship, worked 2 jobs, slept in libraries and couch surfed through my first semester. Freedom wasn't easy, but it was mine. And slowly, the wounds began to scar. I met people who cared, professors who saw potential, friends who gave me the kind of family I always dreamed of. For the first time in years, I started to breathe again. 3 years later, I got a call. "Your mother's in the hospital. She listed you as her emergency contact." I stared at the phone, heart frozen. Why me? Why now? I visited her. Sat by her bed. She looked smaller, older, like time had finally caught up with all the damage she'd done to herself. She opened her eyes and whispered, "You left me." And I replied, without anger, without tears, "I never asked you to stay either, Mom." I walked away that day, not out of hate, but out of healing. Because sometimes, strength doesn't come from holding on. It comes from finally letting go. And if you're like me, growing from the ruins someone else left behind, just remember, you are not broken. You are rebuilding. This is my story, and maybe, just maybe, it's yours too.